Now then, it's TED Talks, the Ted Hanky podcast time, and it's going to be another proper class episode, so strap your lugs in, pick your flaps up off the floor, and just enjoy it. Doyles. Right, as per usual, I can't do the show on my own. I don't like to be joined off Mala. I'm just going to give him a ring now, see where he is. Mala, where are you?
I'm studying you, Ted.
Oh, yeah. Come on in, man. Trying to do some, like, off-camera sort of trickery
sorry,
there.
I didn't realise.
Yeah. What have you been doing?
Well, I've been stood over there for a little bit. Well, do you know what I mean?
Stop revealing the magic of the podcast.
Right. No, Ted, right, to be honest, I've mainly been thinking that I fancy a big night out soon, so I've just been planning stuff, you know what I mean? You've got to get a lot of things in order when you're going out.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. Before we get into that, what the fuck's on your head?
Well, oh, yeah, he's classing it.
You look like you look like you should be dropping bread off in like a 70s sitcom on a little bike. You know what I mean? You look like you work in Arkwright's.
One of the lads down the club, they said to me, "Hey, Mala, do you know what you need? You need an hat." And I was like, well, I tried one of them cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he wasn't having it. They weren't having it. My head's too small because I've got like quite a beard.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Hey, have a go this one." And I just thought, it looks class, doesn't it?
Have you got razor blades in it like them sneaky blindies?
No, man, I'd cut myself putting it on and off. That's a stupid design, that, isn't it?
Yeah. No wonder they've all got them silly haircuts. They keep cutting their hair.
Well, aye.
You know what I mean? That's me theory. Good. Yeah, well, shall I tell the ladies and gentlemen at home watching the podcast what today's topic is?
And the ones listening to it, do you know, the ones who can't afford YouTube and that?
Yeah.
Well, aye.
Yeah. Thank you very much anyway for all your lovely views, comments, likes, shares, pubic hairs, whatever it is.
Have you been getting sent them as well?
Nothing envelope a bush through the door.
See, I tell you, that's our broadback, that. Hey, love, behave yourself.
Mala's ex broadback, yeah. Big ginger bush on her. Disgusted. Just our flashbacks there when you were away. So thank you very much. This is the second video episode we've done. I think the first one was alright. There was some noises going on in the first one where we kept banging, Mala kept banging the table because he's not used to studio production.
Well, I just like to put a bit of real life into it, and that's what I do when I'm down the pub.
Putting £1 on the fucking snooker table for a game of killer. Yeah. So... yeah, thanks anyway. But this week, whole new episode, whole new topic. Last week was 80s cartoons. This week is...
90s cartoons.
Yeah, no, have you prepared 90s cartoons?
Well, I have just been watching back-to-back episodes of Dora the Explorer. It's been mint.
No, aye.
Well, aye, it's been
one
class.
of them little Latinos, isn't she?
She's a bit young for me, but I reckon when she was older, man, you wouldn't have got her off a pole, I'm telling you.
We've seen your search history on Pornhub.
Well,
Dora Explorer, Latino, Deep Throat.
No, it's called Dora, She Explores Her, right? And it's two ladies, right? And they're in the bath, and she's like, "Oh, there's bubbles all over here." Right? She's like, "Hey, there's bubbles all over here. What's going on?" And then she's like, and then this goes down here, right? And then it gets a little bit, and then by that stage, I usually need to turn it off.
What?
Are you all right down there, Ted?
No, I felt a bit weird, that, mate.
Well, there's no wrong with that. It's the lasses, do you know what I mean?
I think you touched the tip. This week's topic of discussion is nights out. Me and Mala are going to reflect on just our nights out when we were allowed out. We're not allowed out anymore now, you know what I mean? How Julie won't even let me go to the chip shop unless I'm bringing her back 9 sausages.
Well, aye, that's very true.
Which is reminds her of that bukkake she had in the in Madison's in the Boro.
I thought that was the name of the chippy, bukkake. Bukkake Lane House Road, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about nights out, and I think we should cover off quite a bit about this matter because we're going to have nights out to share that we've experienced, but I think we need to talk about the whole end-to-end process of going on a night out. Certainly, I would say in the late 90s, early noughties. Let's focus specifically on them dates when that's when we were last allowed out.
Well, that was the last time we probably went out where we were actually, we didn't feel like proper old people, stood there perving, doing that lean on the cue bar like that, just giving it a bit of a look. Do you know what I mean?
What type?
Just lean on the bar in the cue bar, which...
You look like a proper... dodgy traveller when you do that now.
Well, it's no wrong with that. I do have Irish ancestry, so that's probably all right.
That, you know what I mean? Does have travelling blood in his family.
I do indeed, yeah.
If any of you watching, soz.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I didn't mean to offend.
I'll bat him later for you.
You will?
So don't worry. But that's what I used to do, right? So that's the last time we were able to get out without me, leaning against the cue bar like that, drinking a can of Red Stripe. And, there's about 10 million people in front of me trying to get the bar, and I'm just doubt it. I'm looking dead cool, but there's someone stood right in front of you.
Yeah.
So the last time we did that without doing that was probably the 90s.
Very true. Yeah. Well, let's discuss it. Let's discuss nights out. So, right, we're giving a night out, right? I've rang you up on the landline.
Well, my dad answered.
Won't tell the number because it's still the same number for his mum and dad.
01642 6.
No, sorry. You'll have people ringing your mum and dad.
That's all right.
It's all right for your dad. Your mum won't be happy.
She might be.
Yeah,
you never know.
She used to be when I used to phone them. And I go, all right, Mala, shall we go out on Friday? So I'll ring you on the Wednesday or the Thursday. Shall we go out on Friday? I've just sold some of my old clothes on eBay, so I've got some money.
eBay wasn't about then, Ted.
Wasn't it?
No. You were just selling them to random people in Thornaby, weren't you?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's gone on there.
Yeah.
Well, aye.
Yeah, I know.
But... what you probably used to do was you probably used to take one of your lady concubines and they used to give you 10 or 15 quid.
Oh, I did. I used to have because I used to have what can they be described as? Sugar mummies. They used to buy things for me and give me money, and then occasionally I would have to service their parts.
This is nearly true.
And I'd get full football kits, and sometimes I'd just be giving them money, go out and have a good time in Stockton or Middlesbrough.
But if you did a bad job, you'd just get the socks. And that would be it, and he'd be walking around. I'd be you were a shit shag last week, Ted, weren't you?
Yeah, but
he'd be
put a proper performance in. You're in there proper deep. But yeah, so I think go, right, all right then, mate. Right, here's the plan then. We need some new threads, don't we? So what do we do on, say, we're going out on Friday night. It's Friday night, we're going to go out. We finished what we're doing, college, YTS scheme, carpet fitting.
Exactly.
Whatever. And
generally Robin,
and we go, right, I'll meet you down Stockton at R4, let's go into Tin Pan Alley.
Right, it's very important that we point out here, when you said R4 back in the day, mind, it had to be R4 because there was no mobile phones.
No.
So you'd just be stood outside that sports shop,
I was, Mala, because you were always fucking late.
Well, I wasn't. I used to be over the road at Brown's Toy Shop just looking at all the little figures because I used to be class with that. But yeah, you'd have to be there at R4, wouldn't you?
R4.
On the dot.
I'll meet you outside the mall. And then we'd go, right, let's go to Tin Pan Alley, get some new threads for tonight, or we'd go to
Jaffa's Market, because that was class.
Yeah, you'd market day, catch market day on a Friday. What type of clothes would you buy then? Obviously, you're going to the market, I'm going to Tin Pan Alley.
For me, if we're talking 90s here, right, this is the look, right? This is the look that I used to rock. So I used to have a smart pair of kickers. Yes, they were from a previous school, but I kept them really good and I had loads of tags, so they looked mint still.
He used to collect these tags like Dolph Lundgren collected ears in Universal Soldier. Of all the women he booked, he used to steal a tag, didn't you? Off their kickers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Then I used to have some cream jeans that were white creamy jeans that were class. They were absolutely mint, and I used to wear them and look dead nice and snug. And then it was all about the Ben Sherman, wasn't it?
Oh.
Every colour of Ben Sherman you could possibly get.
Lime green, teal blue, peach.
Checkered.
I had them all.
Well, I had them all.
Honestly, you'd think I was sponsored by Ben Sherman shirts, because that's all I used to wear.
I used to love them, me. I used to nick them, didn't I?
Off me?
Well, I was class.
But man, where's my Ben Sherman shirt? And look around, you're like, that's all right, it's dead.
And then,
it's caught
that'd be the look that I would go for personally.
Right.
That was the look.
Jeans out, right, so these cream jeans, what brand are we looking at?
Well, if it was like pure class, if we were doing a bit of raving, I'd have some spliffy on. So it'd be cream, but they'd have the little lad down the back with his spliffy.
He loved these spliffy jeans off the market, Mala.
Well,
Yeah. Well, I would go in Tin Pan Alley and I'd get myself a really nice pair of Sonetti jeans.
He means Geordie jeans.
Sonetti jeans. I'd either get a really lovely Ben Sherman shirt, or I might get a fire trap little number, and I'd rock that.
Oh, well, a fire trap.
Maybe shoe wise, pop on the pods, and
Then it was all about your hairstyle, then, wasn't it?
Oh, then it was Shockwaves gel.
You had about 10 hairstyles back in the day.
I know.
I just had the one which I've had my whole life, so I just used to just keep, because my hair only goes in one way.
Mala has always had the same hair as Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, I had it before that, lads, so I'm telling you now. Listen, I know you're a wrong'un, but you had class hair, and it is a good look.
It does, yeah.
It's a top look.
Maybe you should start wearing them little outfits he wears as well. You know where...
Not allowed.
Oh, yeah.
They told me.
Connery got in trouble for that, didn't he, in one of the Bond films?
Well, that's called cultural misappropriation.
Cultural appropriation, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we've got our clothes, Mala, right? Then... what we do is we get the 116 or the 113 back to my house on Lane House Road.
Well,
and we stop at the shop.
One-Eye John's.
One-Eye John's. We
Class.
go in, John knows those. We go, John, listen, mate, we're on a night out tonight. What have you got in? What's the new drink on the streets, John? And then I go, are you looking at me, John? And his eye would spin round like that snake in Jungle Book.
Can we just put in a little caveat here, right? The lad isn't with us anymore.
Isn't he?
No, bless him, he was an old fella, right? But he was class, right? And his shop was there for years, and it was on Westbury Street, and we was mint on money, right? So we'd just like to say, like, thinking about you wherever you are, sunshine. But he was a lovely bloke, wasn't he?
He was.
I think he was a counsellor or something at one stage of his life, but he was a nice lad. His family were lovely as well. But he did used to sell us booze when I was 15. No, I'm only joking. Well, no, 14.
I'm not going to fucking arrest him now, Mala.
How do you know? They do all sorts of people for past crimes.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Exactly. That's why you need to get rid of that browser.
I know.
As quick as you can.
Right, we go in One-Eye John's, and then we go, right, what have you got? And he'll go, can I do the No, I won't do the accent.
Just like someone out of the Goonies. We go on One-Eye John's mission, and then we come back out.
Yeah. I go, right, lads, I've got some double Max in, big bottles. Be like, oh, wait, mate, I don't want to be on the toilet all night.
Ted,
what?
That wasn't how we spoke, was it?
No, I'm not doing his voice. I can't do his voice. I'll get cancelled.
You will get cancelled. Go on then, you can carry on. Carry on,
double
Ted.
Max him. I go, no, we'll have the shits, John. He'll go, I go,
You'll do what, Ted?
I'll go, what else have you got,
He
John?
wasn't King John Moon.
You go, right, I've got something special in under the counter for you. And then he'd bring out this new drink that was on the streets. It was called Hooch Lemon.
Oh, yeah, we did that one.
So we'd get like 8 bottles of Hooch Lemon each, maybe some Diamond White, maybe some Castaways. Might do with the odd Blastaway at home.
If we were going mental, right, if I'd had a particularly good, when I was fitting carpets and that, if someone had give us a good tip,
like underlay,
do you know what I mean?
Underlay, and he sells it on.
Absolutely, right. Then if we used to get a good tip, maybe we'd splash out with a bit of what was it called?
Skull.
50-50 stuff. Do you remember?
50 bob?
No, it was like a funny cheap bottle. It was class, man.
Mad Dog 2020.
Mad Dog 2020. Well, aye.
That's if you're going down the park and you don't want to go home. Freaking, the amount of times I fell asleep in the AstroTurf down the wreck.
To be fair, Ted, your house was as cold as being in the park sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Me dad, God rest his soul, he's right stingy bastard. Wouldn't put the heating on, he just provided us all with thick lumberjack shirts.
He did.
Even guests.
But he used to let you use the airdryer as much as you wanted to warm the room up.
Yeah, because it was battery operated.
It's class.
Yeah, he's clever.
Good lad. I will.
Yeah. But yeah, so we trundle back down with these big bottles of Hooch, Mad Dog 2020, couple of cans of cheap lager as well, like Ace, because, you know, he needed to get rid of him. I think a dog pissed on it, you know, in the pack, and he sold us it for like 12 pence a can before, didn't he?
Yeah, well, that's a very famous story, that in Thornaby, so people will be bringing you up going, it wasn't that, it was something else, and it was somebody else's shop.
Pat Wardell's crisps.
Yeah, scandalous.
Pat Wardell's son watches the podcast, and he writes in and all the time, so thank you very much, Mark. Your mother was a lovely lady.
She was a lovely lady.
Dog did piss all over crisps, and she did sell them at a discounted 5 pence price.
And she also used to send me up that ladder, like when I was about 6-year-old, and it was massive up there, and she'd be like, hey, you love, go and get us a can of Skull from the top of there, and I had to climb up it, and I was only going in for a penny sweet. She put me to work.
It's because you used to dress so provocatively, Malin. I could see up your shorts.
She could, well,
anyway, we're back at mine, right? We've put the bottles in the fridge, some in the freezer to get them at the optimum temperature.
Just on the windowsill.
What your boss? I had ice inside my windows on Lane House Road. And then we go, hey, do you know what? Let's watch a bit of TFI Friday.
Oh, well, it was class, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Chris Evans had come out. Oh, Chris Evans, you're making me Frankie.
I'd usually, at that point, right, because I smoked back then, didn't I, Ted?
Yeah.
But I wasn't
hanging out the window.
I'd be hanging out the window having a tab at that point, thinking I was cool. But don't smoke, everybody. Vape instead, because it's class.
Don't do either.
Well,
you will die.
You've got to do something, Ted. Anyway, yeah, so I used to be hanging out the window at that point, having a cheeky fag, hoping that your dad wouldn't catch me because he'd bray me.
No, my dad used to operate the same smoking rules as Travel Lodge, and if Mallow was caught smoking, he would get a hefty fine and a letter to head office.
Do you remember when you got
fined? Quick story, me and Mallow, we're in London, we're partying in Croydon of all places, we go back to my work paid for hotel, and Mallow decides to spark up a fag and smoke him out the window. We thought, we got away with it. I get back to work the following week. Letter, fine, complaint, photo evidence of binges, and Ted loses his job. Thanks, Mala. Fucking doll, I've still not.
That's why you shouldn't smoke, kids.
That's why I don't like smokies. So yeah, TFI Friday, you'd have all them class little interviews, you'd have some class music on, we'd watch that while we're getting ready, you know, like Saturday Night Fever, flow dry my hair in the pants.
It used to put me off that, like, to be honest. Night Fever, just like one tuft of hair there, two massive tufts underneath there, and like a bead running up, it's a pubic bead, and he used to be there in these leather underpants, just like gyrating, and he only had a small bedroom.
I thought it was only just a bedroom there.
I used to be like that. Oh, wait, get it out of my face, man.
Yeah.
And he used to let me use, because I used to have that gel that was like a tub from the market, and it was like a blue goo.
Best Buy gel.
Right, and he used to always have like proper class shockwaves and stuff.
Shockwaves,
so
bloody hell.
I'd wait until he needed his shit before he went out, because he always did, and I'd have my hand in the tub just taking it all, using it on myself.
I know, I'd come in, you look like some type of greasy Italian.
Well, aye.
Can you say that? If there's any watching, let us know. And then we'll correct it and we won't do it again.
I might.
Right. We're dressed, we're ready to go, Mala, right? What do we do now on my new top of the range Iowa sound system?
No, you're missing a stage, are you, Ted?
Am I?
What splash are you putting on for the gash?
I don't put the splash for the gash until I leave the house.
I used to do it while you were out of the room. So
I know you did. Yeah.
He had some lovely one. It was called Cool Waters, and it was class.
Yeah.
And he used to love that. And he used to have this one that smelled a bit funny, and it used to stick. And it was called Blue Caraco, and it was like in an alcohol bottle, but it was lovely. It was a bit sticky on the sides, though, and it left a blue mark as well. To be fair.
Yeah. I'll tell you about that one later, Mala. I would have a very varied range of colognes, from Cool Waters through to your dupes, to your Hugo Boss, to your Paco Rabanne's, and then some of my dad's, what was it called? Pagan for Men.
Did your mum ever pay off the catalogue fee for all that?
And I used to get that last buying for me, didn't I?
Oh, well, you did, yeah.
Yeah, and then, I'd have to... I mean, it was one of the most uncomfortable scuttles I've ever had to do for a bottle of dupe, but I'll be honest, I smelled great afterwards.
Mate, that could be the advert for dupe. Just lying there looking ashamed, Cole.
Just like me.
That was one of the most uncomfortable scuttles I've ever done.
Flashbacks, mate, this big lass riding me, and then I'm big massive hair and there's hairspray everywhere.
You could have given the game away, Ted.
And then I sort of roll over, and then I've just stolen a bottle of dupe, and I go, dupe, get you banged. It's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was class.
Got the joke, but I was covered in glue. Yeah, right, all right, so we've chosen the fragrances that we are going to wear now, Mala. I will not allow you to bring your full talc set in my bedroom, because Mala used to think, I'm going on a night out, I better talc up. So if you're talking his balls and his armpits and everything with high karate or blue Stratos or something like that.
I'm a man that never really had a lot of body hair, and I
don't.
I know, and I never sweated a lot either. But I used to think that if a bird goes down there, there's nothing more exciting than seeing a layer of white frosty stuff all over yourself.
I'm a great believer in you've got to smell the same up there as you do down there.
Well, like shit.
That's you. I always smell fragrant and clean down there and up here as well. So it doesn't matter. Once cheeks the sniffing, they get the same experience.
Yeah, that could be an advert as well. Yeah,
so, right. Music. What music are we putting on to pump ourselves up, ready to go out?
Well, right.
This is where we'd fall out a lot.
We do, because you, at that point in your life, you were very much into banging, Wigfield and all sorts of crap, and I was very much like Nirvana sort of Pearl Jam type of kid. Even though we dressed the same, we had different tastes in music, didn't we? We did blend in later years over Oasis and things like that. But so you'd be wanting to put. So usually we'd have Wigfield Saturday night on, but he'd have that version that was, who was that, Black Duck?
Yeah.
And it was like a reggae guy on it, didn't it?
Saturday night. Saturday night and you feel alright. Saturday night and I want to fight with you, baby. Oh, shake it to the left, now shake it to the right. Move your body till you feel alright.
It was that era, right, where it didn't matter what happened. You could just stick, you could have any song, and if it was a bit crap, you just got one of them cool lads in the middle of it to go, yeah, I'm feeling it, doing it right, gonna come around, bang you all night. You see your mum, she gonna have it right, because you know this rhyme is so tight.
Yeah.
I just come up with
it was a classic example in Mysterious Girl, wasn't it? Baby girl, listen, tonight is your lucky night.
That was class. That was class. I tell you what, right, if lads out there, don't be ashamed to say you didn't get a semi on over Peter Andre in that video. So muscular, his tone of his body when he comes out of the water. No wonder Jordan jumped all over him.
Got it, man. Yeah, so I'd probably put something like Dance Zone 98 on or something like that, wouldn't it? And it'd have stuff on like, let me be your fantasy. Stuff like that.
It's still creepy now.
Baby D. Bit of Gala Free from Desire. My lover's got no money, he's got his whiffy feet. That's what it goes, isn't it?
I think she was seeing someone from Boro. My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs.
Maybe that's why they named her after the bingo.
Maybe it was. And Entrance used to love a bit of that, didn't you?
Set you free.
So much so that when I got my first car, it used to make me drive down past, the ICI at Redcar with all the lights in the background and be out the top of the sunroof doing a dance.
Well, no, first I made you cut a sunroof in it. You didn't have one in your Nova SRI.
No, it's the only Ford Montego ever had one.
That was it, Montego, yeah. So, we listen to some stuff like that. We get a bit of dance pumped up, It's got to be big. It's got to be big. It's got to be big. And and then I'd tell Mala stories about, I used to be a class DJ, but I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, you did. And we used to...
practicing for the pattern with the lassos, though, innit? We'd have a practice.
Which is true. We used... Ted, when he was younger, he had a burnout dance floor in his bedroom, and we used to go and practice doing burnouts. Yeah. And if you don't know what a burnout is, people, it's where lads just get
a mattress, set it on fire.
No. That's something to do with Marlon again. What you've got to do is you've got to just dance as quick as you can.
So basically a dance-off. Well, we used to call it a burn-off.
Because it was class.
I think it was something to do with those rather tight chinos you used to wear, which caused friction on your inner thighs. So we listen to all them types of music, it'd be class. I used to like that. I'm a dreamer. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm enjoying this, Ted.
Yeah, proper get us in. I want to go out now.
Well, I've got my chinos.
We're going to have a 90s revival night, late 90s, early 90s. Oh, and then, right, all right, so, listen, we've ordered the taxi, and back then, taxis were like £3, and we used to split the fare, and it was nothing.
If we were going to Stockton, occasionally we would walk, because we literally, Lane House Road from Stockton High Street was about 500 metres if you went the crow flies, do you know what I mean? And we'd stop at the Dubliners, didn't we? And like have a sneaky pint in the Dubliners on the way.
Pint of Beamish Red.
Or if we really wanted to be a bit exotic, we'd stop at Queen's.
The Queen's Club?
Queen's Club and go annoy his dad for a bit.
Yeah.
While the bingo was on, which was always good fun.
Yeah.
I remember that time you won the meat on, you just carried all that meat round Stockton with you all night.
Yeah, I took it on the dance floor.
Well, whipping buds with sausages.
No, I managed to negotiate a couple of kisses with lasses for some chops.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. Right, we've walked over the bridge, right, we've gone from the Dubliners, right, we're thinking, hey, right, it was a pub on the corner. You might not remember this now, because the Stockton High Street is just a big vacant shithole. Well, back then there was a pub on the corner called Flanagan's. And we go there, wouldn't we?
Was it O'Casey's or Flanagan?
No, it was Flanagan's to begin with, Irish bar. We go there, we'd have a couple of Irish drinks. What they are. Then we go over the road to Walker's because
it stunk of shit.
I probably needed a shit and decent toilet facilities, and you like to go on the gamblers.
Well, of course I did.
I mean?
That was how I funded my night out at this stage. Well, I still only had
Mal would go
pints.
home if he didn't win in Walker's, you see. That would it. He'd be home by 8 o'clock. But if he won in Walker's, we'd paint the town red, wouldn't we?
Well, we would, of course. We used to go in the Tommy Sheridan, was it as well?
Thomas is still there.
We used to go in that one.
I've just found some incredible belly button fluff there.
Oh, that's minty. Give us that. Right. Keeping that for later. That's going on eBay later, that's it.
Anyway, I digress. So we've been in Walker's. We do come back to Walker's later on, though, for some hard house.
Like a couple of hard lads. We come back to some hard house.
And we walk up past the Thomas Sheridan, and we'd go to a little bar called the Vicks. And we'd go upstairs in the Vicks, where it would be £1 a bottle of Carlsberg, which is bloody brilliant.
Yeah, well, that was class.
And you'd often get some nice little pockets of flange kicking about then, wouldn't you?
And there was all barrels as well, wasn't it? So there was barrels in Vicks. So you all stood round a beer barrel sort of thing. Yeah. And like if you had a little bit of a bit of a stunk on, you could like manoeuvre around the beer barrel so people couldn't see you. We might pop into Brad's bar if we want to fight or to buy some drugs, and then Trader Jack's. True. And then maybe then we'd go into the Bank, which is now Goldie's. It used to be a bar called the Bank, didn't it? Yeah, it was.
Then we'd pop back down to Walker's, and we'd have a bit of a dance off, bit of a burn off, a couple more drinks. You know what I mean? Have a bit of aggro with some lads in sweatshop jumpers.
We possibly might have gone to that Jockers or whatever as well.
Sometimes Jockers and the Garrick. We want to get a killer, or we're going to kill someone. We would go to one of them. But then this is the best trick, isn't it? This is what we used to do. When the Mal was there, and that later became the Visage, and then became Zanzibar. Next to it was a pub called Buster's, and if you go in Buster's, there was never any door lads on. So me and Mallow, we were old enough, but we didn't have sufficient ID, and nothing worse than being on a night out and getting ID'd and having to go to a shit place.
Or having to do that old Arctic Monkeys thing, which you actually did do, didn't we? Like go and swap over clothes
swap
and
clothes,
stuff.
Yeah, and get in. It used to work, that's fucking mental. But yeah, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of Buster's. You'd go in there at, say, 10 o'clock, and you'd stay in there until midnight, right? And you'd have drinks, and it'd be nice, and there'd be little pockets of flange kicking about, there'd be shot girls and all that type of stuff.
There'd be other boys like doing exactly what we've done.
Yeah, there'd be like a chord where there'd be a group of lads who were barely pubescent looking at each other going, yeah.
Well, I looked about 10 at the time as well, because I didn't look old at all, even when I was 20.
I once introduced you to a lass as my son. And then at midnight, the doors opened. I don't know, it's Coronation Street.
That was what they used to open it to. That was the thing.
And it'd open up the doors to the Mal, and you'd get straight into the Mal, free entry, no IDing, no bouncers, and you're just walking in to a massive cesspit of fucking fanny.
It was class, man. Absolutely mint. Do you know what, right? I know we're doing the podcast, but Ted, I really want to go back to the Mal.
I miss it.
I'd love it. It'd be class.
Oh.
We had some fun in there, didn't we?
Bloody hell, didn't we? Just like...
There was the rules, though.
There's
Everyone had to follow the rules.
There was nightclub etiquette.
Especially in the Mall. And we all know what we're talking about. Each tribe of Teesside, right, there was the Thornaby lads.
The Thornaby bar.
The Stockton lads.
Bar.
The Norton lads. And then the other bar was for, like just guest visitors. Just random lads.
And they all got a guest pass.
Just head out of town. Or Billingham.
But sometimes you'd have to walk past the other bar, and if you weren't connected to one of the lads in that bar, you could get some very harsh looks.
You could do, or
a bottle of Castaway over your head.
Correct. Or because we had friends that lived in other parts of the world. When we mean the world, we mean Teesside.
Yeah.
And we had lads that we'd gone to college with, and they'd be at the Stockton bar.
Yeah.
But we couldn't go to the Stockton bar because it wasn't allowed. So we'd be at the Thornaby bar with all the old Thornaby heads, right? And then you'd see your mate, and you'd have to meet halfway, across the dance floor, to have a chat.
Yeah.
And if you know we're going to have a pint, you'd have to go back to your bar, and they'd have to go to their bar. It was weird as, man.
There was a point near a long selection of strobe lights where it was like the North and South Korean border.
Absolutely.
And, you couldn't cross it or you would be shot.
Absolutely.
But it was great. And then you're on the dance floor, right? We're dancing, Mala. Okay, I'm going to play a song that we're dancing to, right? I'll sing it now. I know what I want and I want it now. I want you, cause I'm Mr. Vain, Mr. Vain, Mr. Vain, Mr. Vain, Mr. Vain, Mr. Vain. I'm doing the full mix now. Right, that's all. The smoke machine's kicked in, the strobe light's going off, right? Me and you were proper fucking going at it, you know what I mean? Like that. And we see these two lasses, don't we?
Well, I
guaranteed every time. They're dancing in the little sassy dresses.
And what's the tactic that we use here, Ted? Do you want me to talk about this tactic?
Oh no!
Are you doing a different?
I was doing the claw. That's the later tactic
that's
once
more
it's established. Yeah. Go on, tell her the tactic.
So the tactic is.
By the way, viewers, right? If you're not from Teesside, this is a relevant tactic that could have been used in many nightclubs around the country. We're going to share this with you now. I want you to harbour it, and I want you to really, really embrace it.
So Ted decides, he grabs hold of me and he'll say, Mala, see them two over there. Right, go chat them up. I'm going to go stand against the bar because I'm like the cool, quiet one. Because in that era of Friends where there was Joey who was just cool and relaxed and stuff. So he'd return to the Thornaby bar and I'd have to go up and start mad dancing next to girls and start chatting them up. And I'd go, come and have a look at my handsome friend over here.
Yeah.
He really likes you. And they'd come over and Ted would just be leaning against the bar. Hang on. Like that.
Let's go, hey.
Yeah, right. And then he'd probably, because he was one of them lads, you could get 50p shots, he'd have 4 of them lined up, ready.
I've been waiting for you.
One of them is yours.
Yeah.
You didn't rehypnol anyone, did you? Not once?
No, I'm not like that. It was all... I said to the bar lady, look, I'm going to pull these birds over here now. Just watch these shots. I don't want them accusing me of roofing them.
Exactly.
So,
but that was the tactic, wasn't it?
That was a tactic. And sometimes it would come over. Sometimes I'd come over to you and them and go, I'm sorry about him. He's just got out of the mental hospital. And then, Mala, go and play with the toilets. And then whoa. Street again. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Great days. We'd have a dance and we'd take him for a drink, we'd buy him a blast away. If you're familiar with that, it's a Castaway in a diamond white, put in a pint glass. Fucking rocket fuel.
Class.
Or we'd go and sit upstairs in the VIP section where Craig the bouncer would let us in.
Absolutely.
And then that is an optimum place to drop a finger.
Now this was when there was only one floor and then there was it was a balcony bit, the VIP place. There wasn't 2 floors to it. That came later when they changed it, didn't it, Ted?
Yeah.
So it used to go up there and when you were sat there with a bird you could look down.
I'm with mine, Malice with his. Right.
You could look down, right, as if you were some lord on safari surveying all the cattle below and just be like, what's going to be my next conquest? obviously. And I'm telling you now, and he's going to tell you this is true, I never not failed to pull me. Because I would pull anything.
Yeah, he would. Mala.
Every night.
You know, he'd be creeping around that dance floor like Nosferatu, waiting for fresh blood.
Some of the bouncers used to show pity on me at the end of the night when I'm walking out with them. And it was like, you know, when the bird with the monkey, when he's walking out like that, and the bird would be coming out, and the lad would become bouncers and grabbing, going, Mala, oh, wait, lad, you're better than this. Come on. And I'd be like, no, I love her. Trying to, like, kick off and run down to the taxi rank. They used to say pity on me, didn't they?
For the purpose of the listeners there, Mala has just described walking like a monkey there, if you'd heard some footsteps.
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, bang, sorry.
Yeah. These microphones are very sensitive, Mala. Then, you know, what we sometimes do is we tell girls that I am Middlesbrough's new Italian or Spanish striker, and Mala would be my translator. You know, he'd say, oh, he's asking if you girls want a drink, and then I'd go, hey, a Nuki brown ale. I'd be like, he wants a Nuki brown ale, and they'd be like, oh, so that's class. They bought me drinks. Yeah, that's class. And then later on, I'd bang into him, his brown ale would go over and we go, Mala, you fucking idiot. And they'd be like, hey, you're not from Italy. But I've already been touching the boobs. So, now we're allowed to say this stuff. I know in today's day and age, it is unacceptable to say Newcastle brown ale. I know it's disgusting. Unacceptable etiquette to be leching over women and to be touching them with permission. It was with permission back then, wasn't it, as well? Unless it was a phone party. Oh, you can get away with all sorts of phone party, you know. But, we used to have a high success rate in the nightclubs at Teesside in the late 90s and early 90s. That's actually true. We actually did. It was, honestly, girls of the past were absolute slags, man. What's up with you? Look at the state of us. We went back to that house in Norton and you pretended you were a ballerina. And... Mala, so close to the ball. Mala had to do a ballet dance in the back garden on the lawn, just to impress some girl. I still got my pipes hooked. It was class. In the garage, yeah. In the garage, yeah. Good days. Great days. Great days. These are some of the stuff that you need to know about going out in Stockton in the 90s. They used to be able to smoke in all the pubs and clubs, as you remember. Oh, yeah. Right? And I had a little trick, and I used to run this little thing. Now, there used to be things called Marlboro girls, and they'd come round in the nightclubs, and they'd go, can we swap a full packet of Marlboro Gold for whatever you've got in your fag packet now, if it wasn't a Marlboro brand? And it was to try and get you, lure you onto Marlboro. But there's no way I'm paying £5 for Marlboros when I was getting Lambert and Butlers for like £2. So what I used to do is take all the fags out of me Lambert and Butlers, and I used to stuff them all in my pockets, and I'd leave one in. And like, then like a professor with pens. Yeah. They were all tabs in Mala's pocket. And then I'd be like, and then I'd get one of the Marlboro girls, I'd swap it, and I'd have a full 20 deck, and I'd put them in this pocket, and then I'd go find a packet of fags on the floor, put another fag in, go find another Marlboro girl, and at the end of the night I'd come out with about 150 Marlboro lights on me. It was mint. Yeah. You were so flammable. I was. It was class. Yeah. That was great. And he used to they used to give these freebies away in the nightclub as well, didn't they? Like, there used to be like a Malibu party or something like that. Yeah, and you used to get these glow-in-the-dark sticks or like T-shirts or badges. Remember when you bit one? And you were sleeping on my bedroom floor and your teeth were glowing yellow all night. I know. Yeah. Did your mum ever get that off her pants? No, didn't think so. No. But great days. We used to replicate the exact same thing in the Millennium, in the Madison, in... I used to get battered a lot more in the Madison, to be fair. Chicago Rock, the Empire, what was that Liquid? Liquid, well, I nearly forgot about it. The Arena? The Arena, but like the Arena, but grungier. Blazers. Oh, mate, I love Blazers. Oh, we had a very good experience in Blazers, didn't we, Mallory, young lads? I had lots of good experience in Blazers because I used to love the music. But apart from that, I just used to love it because no one gives a shit in Blazers. Dirty old rock women. Class. Oh, yeah. Don't tell them about that, Ted. If you want to know more about it, I want to get the view count over 5,000. If it does, I will reveal Mala's story to Blazers on the next podcast. Well, yeah, it was great. It were great days, that. Oh. You had to finish your day, though, Ted, didn't you?
What used to happen on kicking out time, if I wasn't going back to some place in Hardwick or wherever else I was going, and you were just berating me and chucking stuff at me because I was leaving with some thing.
Yeah, creature of the night.
Well, Where did we used to go after that?
No.
Where did everyone go?
Wobbly Goblin, no.
Ah, well, there was only
Pizza
one parade
shops.
of pizza shops, well,
For a kebab, a parmo, or a fight.
There is only one bite centre, and it was Mint.
The bite centre, yeah, with the little curly-haired man.
He used to come dance. He used to come in the mall.
He used to pop up and dance, like, hey, guys, hey, come and see me, I'll give you a parmesan later on, hey! I'm like, okay, now there's the parmo man from the bite centre. Best mates with him, like that, we know him, we get free parmos.
I'm going to knock it out here, right? And I know everyone in Teesside is going to kill me for this, but I can't remember parmos when we were younger. I remember going in there and you'd get a kebab or a pizza. I didn't even know what a parmo was, unless you went to Europa. Where, you know, like where we all pretended we'd come out the Empire and you'd be pissed as fuck and you'd be like, oh, let's all go for a sit-down meal with the lads. And there used to be tenniers around them round tables, and you used to order in big bottles of Nuki Brown or whatever, and you'd have a parmo, but you'd all be smashed and you could drink till 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, we used to do that in Stockton as well, at Elise's, which was up one of the little, you know where the traders is, one of the alleys. There was a little Greek restaurant up there called Elise's, and you could go in there and have a parmo till after clock as well. But it became risky business, and certainly as the drugs scene flourished on Teesside, people would use these places to either deal or settle deals, which could often result in a parmo in the face.
Well,
it was very aggressive times, wasn't it, Mala?
It was. Yeah. Luckily, if you didn't get a taxi from the rank at about 55 million people outside it, with about 10 taxis, you could always do a short pawn job back to Thornaby.
Yeah. Right, moving on. Right, Mala, before we end the podcast, do you like a t-shirt?
Well, it's mint that.
Open the Boro, believe! Available on tedhanky.com.
I didn't know you played for the Boro, Ted.
Yeah,
that was class.
Star striker.
Oh, it's mint.
Yeah. Get them on tedhanky.com. Buy 12 each. Yeah, and I'll do it because I'm putting a graphic above already when I do it. I'll do it now, Alan.
Right, all right. Do that and put King Jong-un over my head. See, there's no likeness at all. Right, there you go.
We are, yeah. So get them. We made an error last week, right? I said to you, for the Dear Ted feature, which we're going to do now, please email in your questions to info@tedhanky.com or your problems, a bit like a Dear Deidre type thing, but Dear Ted. But I didn't realise that we record this on a Wednesday night and it goes out on a Wednesday, so it doesn't leave you any fucking time at all to get your questions in. So we're a week behind, so we've managed to save one from last week for this week, but next week I'm hoping you'll have sent some in from the week before, if that's not confusing
No,
enough.
that makes sense. And you're going to remind him on Facebook and that?
Yeah, and I've got to say, if your problem is, it needs a quick solution, just message me and I'll answer it for you privately.
Don't fall into that trap, people. Honestly, that's how we get you.
If you're a young single mum. Right, you've got a question for me for Dear Ted. What is it, Mala? And I'll answer it and I'll give you my best advice as truthfully and honestly as I can.
Right, this one is Dear Ted.
Yeah.
This bloke hasn't named himself, but he says, Dear Ted, I'm a bit upset this week. Our lass is after all the posh stuff in life. Do you know what I mean? What she wants is she wants a brand new house and she wants to have an ensuite bathroom, which seems to be what everybody wants nowadays.
Yeah.
I've decided to take her back to the mid-centuries. We need to get back to how it used to be. So I've decided that instead of having an ensuite bathroom, I'm going to piss in Coke cans instead from my bed.
You're going to piss in what?
A Coke can instead from my bed. Okay. Is this acceptable, or should I line a Pringles tin? Yours sincerely.
Why won't he put the name on? Oh, well, do you know what?
Gavin.
we all like an ensuite, we really do. And we all like to lay in the bed and not get out and have to use it. So I think it's a good compromise here. And what I would like to do is get a big, hollow iron brew bottle, right? Cut the top off, right? So you can get your balls in as well.
Are you going to sand that, Ted, though?
Oh, yeah. Just get a nail file or one of them buffer ones, what lasses used to give them a bit of shine. And just sort of do the edges of it, the rimmet of... and then you can basically, when you're in bed, you can just pop your cock and balls inside of it. You can have a wee, and you know what? You can put it on the side of your bed, and no one will batter an eyelid because it'll still be the same colour as iron brew.
What does your piss look like that? You need to go see the doctor, Ted.
I'm a bit dehydrated. I drink a lot of coffee. It's always bright orange, my piss. It must be vitamin B I take. But yeah, and then you can re-add the top back on. So
and resell it.
You could do. Or play a rather childish prank on a flatmate.
You could do that as well.
Pop it in the fridge. Piss everywhere.
But full of vitamin B by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's good for you. Good, the water of life.
But do you not think, Ted, right? I think this lad has a point, and you might as well.
Right.
We should be getting back to the old way, shouldn't we? Do you know what I mean? Like, back in the day... Like, probably not our mum and dads, but other people's mum and dads. There was no ensuite bathrooms. They used to have a pot under the bed, you know, and they used to take it out in the middle of the night, and so they didn't have to go outside, and they'd have a slash.
Don't even have a pot to piss in.
Well, but the olden days used to be better, didn't they?
No.
They didn't?
No, I never liked them.
Oh, well, I did. I thought they were class, and as you can see.
You look like someone's just opened the window and shouted at you, "You boy, what day is it today?" Right. "Oh, it's Christmas Day, sir."
Well, it's class.
Yeah. Why were they better?
Well, right, let me tell you, Ted. We have this thing. I've been thinking of it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm calling it Malinomics.
Malinomics.
Are we ready? Is it up there now?
Put a graphic up. Boop.
Malinomics. Right, you listen, Teesside. Right, we are going through economic hard times. Now, let me tell you something that's going to shock your ear. In our little God's little green acre of Thornaby, back in the day, there was over 50 pubs. Over 50 pubs just in Thornaby alone. Did you know that, Ted? Because there was 50 pubs, right? Do you know what that meant? That there was at least 50 barmen, 50 or 100 bar ladies, because there'd be a couple of them working. There'd be at least
3,706 pieces of planche.
There you go. He's top math. He's like, honestly, it's like Goodwill Hunting, right? So we've got all that going on. There was all the people that delivered the booze, right?
The
drainmen, there was all them lads. There was people that did all the snacks and the whelks and stuff when they came round.
Oh, mum.
That was 50 pubs, all had to be serviced, all in God's beautiful little acre of Thornaby, right? Imagine how many...
There was no 5-star food hygiene certificates back then, you bastards!
No, but imagine how many people were employed, right? And what did them people spend the money on? They went to the local shops and they bought the local produce. What happens now? We've got about 4 pubs and everyone goes down like a fancy supermarket and buys just crates of beer and sits on their own.
Just 4
do you know
quid a
what I mean?
now.
So people's mental health was going downhill. And do you know what? You go to a pub and you get ripped off. Why'd you get ripped off, Ted? Because there's only about 5 pubs to choose from. Well, let me tell you, when there was 50 pubs to choose from, all in one little place, you'd be like, how much is that 50 bob? Yeah. I'm not having that. I'll be next door.
Yeah. We need to get a campaign going, open more pubs, close down schools and
open pubs.
Well,
them kids could work in them pubs. Think about that.
Yeah, they're only going to end up in them anyway.
Exactly. And, right, if you think this is a bad idea, you've got 50 places where you could probably get away from your lass and maybe meet another one.
Right, man, that concludes the show. Wait, are you going?
Well, all this talk about... I've just clapped. All this talk about Coronation Street's got me randy. See, I want to go see Miss Popoff. Oh, class still. See you later, everyone.
Oh, Malady. He is a big fan of Audrey Roberts in the Coronation Street, and many a time I'd walk in with the shed he was living in while he was beating one out over Audrey's face. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning into this week's TED Talks with Ted Hanky podcast. Like I say, t-shirts, tedhanky.com. If you enjoyed the show, you can make a little donation on coffee.com. The link is at the bottom of the description. And do give it a share. Please invite your friends, your marrows, your pets to listen, watch and enjoy and get involved with the show. Big thank you to the sponsors of the show, which is the Warehouse Kitchen Bar and Grill down Preston Farm Industrial Estate in Stockton. Fantastic food, brilliant bar, Star Wars props and all that stuff. So come and check it out. Got a class comedy night there as well, which some handsome bastard runs. And so just have a good week, you know what I mean? So as per usual, up the butter and believe.